Okay, so why don't you read this one and tell me what you think.
The Federal Truth in Lending Law Regulation Z gives the borrower a 3-day right of rescission when the loan is a conventional purchase money loan secured by a deed of trust on residential property, an FHA or VA loan to purchase a single-family owner-occupied residence, a loan secured by a second deed of trust on owner-occupied single-family residence when the money is borrowed subsequent to the purchase, and a purchase money loan secured by a deed of trust on commercial property. I don't know.
Well, do your best. Do your best.
Is it A? Or number one, the conventional purchase money? No.
Okay, so it has to do with owner-occupied single residence family. So when you saw that, that was the big giveaway. Okay?
Oh,
All right, most of
okay.
these laws have to do with owner-occupied property.
Okay.
All right? Okay, let's do another one.
An appraiser is usually paid a fee based on the amount of time and effort, a fee based on a percentage of the appraised value, a fee agreed upon after the appraisal is completed, a standard fee agreed upon in the National Appraisal Association. And I think it's a fee based on the amount of time and effort.
Good. Why can't they do it based upon a percentage of the value? What would be wrong with that?
Well, I don't know. It just
Well, if they did that,
right.
wouldn't they just make the property worth more so they could get paid more?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so they don't want to do
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Telephone lines are examples of a non-revocable license, a legally valid encroachment, an easement in gross, and an easement appurtenant.
Appurtenant, yeah.
I'm going to go with the easement appurtenant. Because doesn't that run with the land?
Right, but they're talking about easement in gross because a telephone line goes across a property, but you're not trying to get to another property.
Oh.
So an easement in gross, there's only one property involved.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm writing that down.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. The holder of a life estate based on her own life may do all of the following except sell the property, borrow against the property, lease the property, or devise the property. I think it's sell the property. Oh.
Okay, so you can't will it.
Oh.
Okay.
I was thinking that you couldn't, I mean, isn't that, based on her own life? I was thinking like a life estate, like when you give it to somebody until you die, or instead of not on her own.
No, a life estate is when you own it based upon somebody else's life.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Can't rule it. Okay. When an appraiser is appraising a property, he usually considers all of the following except definition of value, property rights to be valued, the property identification, and the assessed value. And these are ones I've already gotten wrong, right?
Right, that's correct.
Yes. The definition of value?
So what is the assessed value all about? Do you know?
what they're, the tax, is that with the tax assessor
Yes.
assessing?
Assessed value has to do with taxes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they wouldn't consider that. Okay. Right. An appraiser is appraising a single-family resident and notices an abandoned gas station next door. The appraiser would logically recommend which of the following: a toxic waste report from the EPA, a rezoning of the property, a soils report by a civil engineer, and a structural pest control report. Rezoning of the property? Ah, toxic waste report. Okay.
Yeah.
The
Because there's a gas station there.
yeah, and it's been abandoned.
Right, so you just gotta know if it's safe.
Right. So if the okay. Telephone lines are an example of illegally a valid encroachment, a non-revocable license, an easement in gross, and an easement appurtenant. So that's the easement in gross because they're only using one land, wanting one land.
Good, excellent.
Okay. The Federal Truth in Lending Law, Regulation Z, gives the borrower a 3-day right of rescission when the loan is an FHA or VA loan to purchase a single-family owner-occupied resident, a conventional purchase money loan secured by a deed of trust on residential property, a purchase money loan secured by a deed of trust on commercial property, and a loan secured by a deed of trust on owner-occupied single-family resident when the money is borrowed subsequent to the purchase. So that would be D, right? Because it's about owner-occupied.
Excellent, good.
Okay. The lender is required under RESPA to provide a detailed good faith estimate statement at the time of the loan application or within 3 business days to the buyer.
Good.
Okay, good. The recording of an instrument gives passive notice, actual notice, constructive notice, and positive notice. I think that one's actual notice or constructive notice. I don't know.
Okay, so actual notice is when you actually go right up to a person. So recording is not like direct contact, so that would be constructive notice, okay?
Okay, so, you're just recording it, so it's just the constructive. Okay. The holder of a life estate based on her own life may do all of the following except holder of life. So that one's to devise the property.
Excellent.
Okay. Which of the following prevents a person from adopting a position which is in conflict with a previous position or a previous action? Is that the fiduciary duty?
No, that would be doctrine of estoppel. And that's basically it says. That's basically the definition is in the question.
Oh, I thought
Fiduciary duty means you have to be honorable. But this is more specific to contracts.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I had like a word that I went with estoppel that was like you're stopping an action from happening.
Right, so you're stopping an action that conflicts with the previous one.
Okay, well, I left. Okay. An appraiser is appraising a single-family residence and notices an abandoned gas station next door. The appraiser would logically recommend which of the following, and that is the toxic waste report from the EPA.
Good. Excellent.
Okay. When an appraiser is appraising a property, he usually considers all the following except the definition of value, the assessed value, the property identification, and the property rights to be valued. Except the assessed value. That's the one with the taxes.
Excellent. Good. Now you're doing great.
Okay, good. A voidable contract is a contract that was valid at the time it was signed, but for some reason cannot be proved or sued upon by either or both parties. It is valid or enforceable on its face, but it may be rejected by one of the parties. Has no legal effect because it really is not a contract and contains all of the legal essentials that are required for its existence. Is valid and enforceable on its face, but may be rejected by one of the parties.
Let's see. Excellent.
Oh, good. See, I was like second guessing myself. I was fixing to say the first one, and then I read something that threw me off. So.
Yeah, no, that was good.
The income approach to appraising is most important in determining the value of a vacant residential lot, office building, cooperative apartment, single-family home. So I think the income is the cooperative apartment.
Okay, do you want to try that?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it more has to do with places that have like income for businesses.
Well, see, I was relating that you had income coming in at an apartment.
Well, you could own a co-op though.
Oh.
You could live there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. When a lender speaks of discounting, the lender is probably referring to the loan proceeds disbursed by the lender are less than the face value of the note, the process of determining the effective interest rate, the process of determining the actual yield of a given loan by adjusting the variable interest rate, and the difference between a nominal interest rate and effective interest rate on a specific loan. So that is the loan proceeds disbursed by the lender are less than the, no. The difference between the nominal interest rate and the effective interest rate? Oh, no, I don't think that's right either. I don't remember that one. The loan proceeds disbursed by the lender are less than face value. See, I cannot make myself remember that.
Yeah, it's just making it less. It's going to another loan.
Okay. The income approach to appraising is most important in determining the value of a office building.
Good.
Okay.
And you realize we set it up like this so you'll have a chance to go over the ones you get wrong over and over again until you get it right.
Right.
So it just doesn't go away after you get it wrong.
Yeah, and most of the time I go back over and look, but then I saw you that a lot of times you go back over or I want to review them more and see what the explanation is why I got that wrong.
Right.
The recording of an instrument gives, recording is constructive notice, because that's not in person, right?
Ta-da!
Oh, good. Okay. In order for a grant deed to be effective in transferring title to property, it must be notarized, be recorded by the county, be delivered and accepted, include a documentary transfer tax. Be delivered and accepted?
Excellent.
Oh, okay, good, good. Jones owned 3 pieces of real estate, a house, a lakeside cottage, and a tract of woodland. Which of the following expenses may be deducted for all 3 properties on the Jones income tax return? Property taxes?
Let's see.
Interest in property taxes. Oh, good.
Good.
I thought it was the mortgage interest also, and I was like, oh, which one? Okay. So it's just the property taxes can.
Yeah. In that question, yeah.
Okay. The Civil Rights Act of 1866 prohibits discrimination in real estate based on is it race?
Yeah, this is the Civil War stuff.
Okay.
This is right after the Civil War. This was followed up by the 13th Amendment, which ended slavery.
Right.
All right. So they weren't talking about handicapped and gender. I mean, gender wasn't argued for another 100 years later.
Okay. That's what I was thinking, but
Right, like women's voting and all that kind of stuff didn't happen, much, much later.
Right. Okay. Which of the following instruments proves a marketable title? Abstract of title? Is that the for sure one? Oh.
So that's just a summary. It doesn't guarantee anything. It's just a summary. The warranty deed actually does the research and guarantees it.
In the warranty deed confuses me with some of the other deeds.
Yes, the general warranty does the whole history of the title to make sure people own it. All right, so it shows like encumbrances and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, I was thinking that was the history of title is
The abstract is like a summary.
Right. What's the other one though? Not the summary, the one that just shows the history. That's not a deed.
The abstract?
No, I can't remember. Anyway.
We'll think of it.
Okay. Restrictive covenants that run with the land only apply until the developer has conveyed the title, can be removed by a court by a competent jurisdiction, are no longer effective when the title is transferred, and apply to and bind all successive owners of the property. Run with the land. Is it apply to and bind all successive owners of the property?
Good.
The successful property manager does not study rental rates in the area, screen the tenant's ability to pay, appease the tenants by repairing their equipment, consider the type of business the tenant has. Would they not consider the type of business the tenant has?
Okay.
I want to say C. Appease the. So they do care about what kind of business the tenant has?
Yeah, if you're selling like crack, you care.
Oh, okay. I
Right?
wasn't thinking bad stuff.
Yeah, bad stuff.
Okay.
Sorry, just looking at what you have here.
I know I have a lot on this one. The donation of private land for public use is called the donation of private land for what was this called? Assignment? I'm trying to delete out the ones I know it's not. Oh,
Assignment's just
dedication.
me to you. With me giving the
Oh,
property to you. But when you're donating it for public use, it's a dedication. Okay?
okay. Writing it down. Okay. Okay, I don't know that I've studied dedication, so there.
That doesn't come up very much.
Okay. Which of the following statement is correct concerning the relationship between an effective interest rate and a nominal interest rate? And I'm not even sure what a nominal interest rate is.
It's the amount named in the note.
Okay. The nominal interest rate is the rate actually paid by the borrower for the use of the money, and the effective interest rate is the rate specified in the note. The effective rate is the rate of the buyer will pay, and the nominal rate is the rate named in the loan, and the effective rate is the rate actually paid by the borrower for the use of the money, and the nominal interest rate is the rate specified in the note. And the effective interest rate is always lower because the nominal interest rate includes charges. I want to say C. That's the one that sounds right to me.
Good.
Oh,
Excellent.
Which of the following instrument approves a marketable title? Oh, that's the general warranty deed, because that's a marketable title. Okay.
Good.
Implements are real property, fructus naturals, personal property, fructus naturals, real property, fructus industrials, and personal property, fructus industrials. Implements are, I want to say they're personal property. Well, it's probably industrial. I don't know. Yeah, it was. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's part of their like business or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you see it a lot when you talk about leases if it's real or personal property. Like it's real
Okay.
property if you are buying and selling, but it's personal property if they're renting. That's where that
Okay.
comes up a lot.
Okay. The donation of private land for public use is called dedication. Under a lease, the leasehold interest lies in the Is it the leaseor?
No, the lessee is the one who receives it. They're the one living there.
Okay, I was thinking the lessor was the one living there. I get the
No, the lessor is the
I
one
know
giving the
that
lease. Is the landlord. The lessor is the landlord.
I get the EEOR rule confused because it seems like they're both receiving and they're both giving.
Well, what are they receiving? They're receiving the property. You
Yeah,
always
but
got to think what's first.
go ahead.
You just got to think what happens first.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. The maximum permissible loan to value ratios are fixed by law for conventional loans, not determined by federal statute in the case of FHA loans, based on the banker's competitive market analysis and based on sale price or appraised value, whichever is lower. Maximum permissible loan to value ratios are Is it based on sale price or appraised value?
Good. Excellent. Nice job.
Oh, okay. Okay. Under a lease, the leasehold's interest lies in the lessee, whatever. Under a lease, the leasehold it's in the lessee.
Good.
Okay. A listing agreement is an employment contract. Do you want me to read them all?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's all of those. So it is an employment contract, but it's also bilateral. These two promises are being made. You know, a bilateral
Yeah.
contract is a promise or a promise by definition.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I should have read them all aloud and then I would have, okay. Implements are real property Fructus Industrialis.
Which one?
A D.
You sure?
Yes.
Good. Excellent.
Okay. I got it now. It made sense now. When a lender speaks of discounting, the lender is probably referring to gosh, I don't even remember this discounting. Okay. The loan proceeds dispersed by the lender are less than the face value of the note. D.
Good. Excellent.
Less than what's owed. Less than what's owed. Okay. The successful property manager does not appease the tenants by repairing their equipment.
Good.
Okay, so they don't have to do that. An appraiser has been hired to prepare an appraisal on a property that includes an elegant old mansion that is now used entirely as an insurance company office. Which approach to value would the appraiser most rely on? Income approach? Okay.
Excellent. Good.
Okay. Because they're selling stuff. That's like income coming in.
Right.
Okay. A listing agreement is all are correct.
Good.
A lease agreement is signed by a leasee who is 16 years of age. Which of the following is true? The lease agreement is void because he's like underage.
That one's tricky, but he is voidable because eventually he'll turn 18 and they could ratify the contract at that time.
But he still can sign that?
Yeah, it's just there's not enforceable. Just remember it's voidable and not void.
Okay, I would have totally got that one wrong.
Yeah,
for sure.
no, lots of people do. I did for a while too.
To determine property taxes on a resident, assess land and improvement separately, then multiply the total by one tax rate. Total all land and improvements when multiplied by one, then multiply by one tax rate. And assess land and improvements separately and multiply each by the same tax rate, and none of the other options are correct. I want to say assess land and improvements separately and then multiply by one tax rate. Yeah.
Good, you're kicking butt.
Okay.
Great job.
Okay, good, yeah. The method of describing land that uses compass degrees, feet, and monuments is known as the...
Ouch.
Sorry. No. Is the meets and bounds system?
Good.
Okay, good. I haven't studied a lot on the lot and block system. I really haven't.
Yeah, if you want to go over that, I have a video on that you could look up, but it's pretty
Okay.
simple.
Okay.
It's just like a grid, and you're good to go.
Okay. Which of the following prevents a person from adopting a position which is in conflict with a previous position or a previous action? And that's the doctrine of estoppel, because it conflicts with the action. Okay.
Great.
Okay. A lease agreement is signed by a leasee who is 16 years of age, which is the following. The lease is voidable. Okay.
Good. So we did a
Okay.
bunch there. Do you have any other questions for me you wanted to ask me?
Yeah, I kind of get confused on ingress and egress.
Ingress and egress.
Yeah.
Ingress to go in, egress to go out. And you hear when it comes into easements, when it comes into play.
Go out. It's easements. Okay. And there on the second time I took the national, there was a lot of questions about different types of options. Whether it be on a lease option or like rental. Well, I don't remember. There was just so many different types of options, and I got them all confused. And I was like, well, and I should have wrote down, but they used the word option in probably 10 different questions, and it was different types of options.
Okay, so big thing you want to remember is all options are unilateral contracts.
Oh, okay.
That's a big thing. That will help you with them. I don't know which one you're talking about specifically, so use it in
Yeah.
different ways, but that's a big thing you want to remember.
Options. Okay, and that unilateral is one person, right? And one promise.
Yes.
Okay. And that was my other one, was the OEE rule, and you said that it's whatever happens first. So even though, just like the mortgager and mortgagee, the mortgagee is the one selling?
No. So you got the mortgagor and mortgagee. The mortgagor is the borrower. So don't think of buyers and sellers. Just think about a loan, getting a loan. The mortgagor is the borrower. And the reason they're the OR is because you have to give the promissory note.
Okay. See, and then
Because you know what I mean? You can't get money unless you give a promise to pay back.
so the seller's the mortgagee?
No, the bank is the mortgagee.
The bank is. Okay.
Yeah, the seller's not involved anymore. How you pay for the property is different than buying and selling the property.
Okay.
Does that
Well,
make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I give you money. I say I'm going to give you $500,000. The mortgage has nothing to do with how I give you that $500,000.
All right. I appreciate your time.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.